Hello, some of you asked me to do more reviews of desktop stuff, and today I'm really glad that I have such opportunity. And today I will review a really rare for me type of device. It's pure digital to analog converter, pure DAC, and it's a model that gathers a lot of attention and a lot of hype recently. And kind of spoiler, it was that it's Gustard X16. I hope I pronounced Gustard in a correct way. It's a relatively new released device, and Gustard used tons of fresh technologies in this small digital to analog converter. It's built using ES9068 digital to analog converter chips. It uses XMOS as a USB interface, Intel's processor to control everything. Of course, not desktop Intel processor, but Intel's solution for the built-in electronics. It also features tons of connectivity, and it supports MQA, and it has a Bluetooth with all the modern codecs. And at the same time, it costs just $500. I will add links to the shop in the description. So really promising features and specs for this price. But once again, I must highlight that it's pure digital to analog converter without headphones amplifier. Gustard have accompanying headphones amplifier H16 for this setup if you want to use it for headphones. But of course, you can use it with many other amplifiers, and actually it's a great thing about it. Anyway, I don't have H16 for review, at least yet. We'll see how it will be in future, and let's have a closer look. Package is traditional for such device, just regular recycled cardboard, minimalistic polygraphy. It's typical for such devices, no fancy package. Let's open it, and inside, if you'll decide to get it, you will get small compact disc with drivers. Surprisingly fun touch. I thought that nowadays it's more reasonable to put some small USB flash. So power cable, USB cable, actually pretty good one, Bluetooth antenna, remote control, and warranty card. So yes, it supports remote control. We'll talk about that a bit later. And here is the device itself. So let's pull it out. And probably I will pause video now and clean my desktop a little bit. So here is X16. It's relatively small, but at the same time it looks and feels solid. Gustard have their own design ideas, so this dot pattern here looks nice. Actually, check out these feet, they look super great. So they have rotating and clicking control on the front panel, and there is a screen. I don't know why they put this protective film, it protects like half of the screen, so it doesn't make much sense. I got a black one, but you can also get a silver version if you like. You can select the ones that will fit your stack better. It's small, so it will look nice also on the desktop, and I think it's a great idea. On the back side, a lot of stuff is here. So on-off switch and power socket, also voltage switch, so be sure that proper voltage is selected, and here is digital inputs. You can see optical input IS, I2S, coaxial, USB, and actually antenna input. So we can add Bluetooth antenna here, and as usual Bluetooth is a good idea, and additional antenna for Bluetooth is nice to have. So all possible digital inputs are present here. And analog output, so balanced XLR, and of course regular RCA as a single-ended output, so it's pretty logical stuff here. you can connect it to whatever you like, and that's really good. And let's try to turn it on. Screen isn't very bright, so I think it's done on purpose, so it won't be too bright or too shiny, so it won't be distracting when it put in the stack. Also here it shows what input is selected and signal resolution. I don't know is it visible on video or not, because screen isn't bright. So in the middle in big letters we can see the current signal and volume. I think it will be more logical to write volume in big letters in the middle and resolution smaller, but they did it this way. Knob rotation changes the volume, it can control the volume, and you can select inputs with clicks, so IIS, Bluetooth, and coaxial, IS, optical, and others. With long press you can get to the menu PCM mode, so you can select filters here, you can select non-oversampling mode here, Bluetooth power, phase invert, display always. Oh, actually here is the display brightness, so here is the maximum brightness. Of course it flickers only on video, in real life it looks normal. And Bluetooth power, you can select will it be on when it's selected Bluetooth, or it will be always on. So nice basic controls that you will need here. And of course you can control it with remote. Probably it's some universal remote control, because it's but actually no, it's not universal, it's created for this digital to-analog converter. So pressing the direction button you can navigate menu, you can go back, you can select menu, you can, let's go back, you can change the volume, you can select I'm not sure what play pause should do here. Probably I need to find manual and study it, so maybe some buttons are extra here, and this remote is also used for some streamer, and this button works as mute. So anyway, remote control here is a nice and good idea, and digital to analog converter has all necessary features built in, so you can select and control every aspect of its work, and it's really good stuff. You know, I didn't Google the manual for this digital to analog converter, but when I thought for 10 seconds, the usage of these three buttons became absolutely obvious. So in the previous part of the video I was too dumb, and now I am smart, so hooray for me. Gustard released two devices. It's a digital analog converter X16 and headphones amplifier H16. And also they have at least one device in plans, it will be released soon. It's streamer S16, and idea is basically obvious. They call this Series 1 desktop mini or something like that, and many people will buy all this device and organize them in stack, and of course all that people would like to control all three devices with one remote control, and with these buttons you can basically switch what you need to control, digital to analog converter, amplifier, or possible streamer in future. So obvious and logical idea, and nicely done by Gustard. I won't pretend that I built a setup right now. I spent a week listening and testing this digital to analog converter. Actually, I used the X-Duo TA30 as an amplifier, Also, I tried to and used Xduo MT16, MT602, but 602 is a bit too basic for this setup. Also, I used my Yulong A28 as an amplifier, and also I used Winshine R2R DAC, its amplifier part. So none of them are some superb amplification solutions. Oh, of course, also I used it with my Dark Voice 336 as an amplifier. So maybe I don't have some super fancy amplifiers, but I've got really good devices that will show the potential of this digital tonal converter. So I won't put them here on the table because it will be too big to fit on the table, and I won't plug headphones, but I think you can believe me that I've spent time listening to it. But I got M15 to show you some examples, and actually I even connected via Bluetooth input, so now it's not playing, but if I'll start playback, it will show that signal is PCM 44 kHz. And actually FIO shows that it's connected via LDAC, so it's working in Bluetooth mode too, but actually I didn't expect anything else. So let's talk about the sound, and in terms of sound it's good. So I'm not sure is it enough, is it important for you or not, but it measures good on the audio science reviews. It's one of the best measured digital tonal converter. I'm not a measurement guy. I've heard some device that measures great but sound not so great. But if measurements are important for someone, it measures really good, but it sounds also really good. It's natural, it's transparent, and basically it's balanced, and it's not coloring anything. And for me, it's actually what digital tonal converter should do. I probably describe the sound of this digital tonal converter. It's better to say where it's not perfect. So it's not absolutely perfect in terms of bass. It's lacking a bit of tightness comparing with $2,000 plus device. And actually bit better treble layering would be a plus, but also it's noticeable just when you compare it with more expensive devices from $1,000 plus category. But for the $500 it delivers a hell lot of value. It's just natural, transparent, uncolored, technical, with good control, so on and so forth. And actually neutrality and control and balance, it's what I think digital tonal converter should do. Some people prefer some coloration of digital tonal converter, like many people like more tight and more impactful bass. Other people like colored mids with forced macro dynamics, but I think it's a bad idea to add coloration at the digital tonal converter stage, because the coloration of digital tonal converter combines with coloration of amplifier and combines with coloration of headphones, and it's not a simple task to accommodate all that and select proper stack. So I think digital tonal converter should be neutral. Slight coloration could be added by the amplifier, but it also should be close to neutrality. But actually slight coloration could be added on the amplification stage, and the main thing is to select the proper headphones. So luckily Gustard fits my idea, and it's neutral, transparent. So I said that once, I will repeat it many times, so let's probably speak with some examples. So for the low frequencies, first example, it's Led Zeppelin, Whole Lotta Love. Probably not the most obvious example for the bass, but bass line here is present, it's noticeable, and often bass part of Led Zeppelin songs is underestimated because many people praise Plant for singing, many people praise Page for guitars, some people like drums and Bonham, but no that importance given to the bass guitar, but bass guitar here is nice and it gives really good emotional part of this song, and actually this digital tone converter play it nicely. Actually, I've got this album in remasters, and in the remasters they've boost bass a little bit, and actually in terms of purity maybe it's not the good idea, but I like that, you know. I'm kind of probably I'm not audiophilic enough because I usually like the remasters, and I'm not that fan of first press. So it depends, of course, not all remasters are good, but actually usually I like them. And here Gustard shows that it can handle bass guitar great. I'm not speaking about the obvious stuff like Musica Nuda or other things like double bass, like fortepiano, like organ, so it with natural instruments it performs really well. Of course, if amplifier allows that. And with bass guitar it also shows its good control and resolution and depth. And with electronic music it's also nice. We get lucky by Daft Punk, sounds nice, impactful, tight, and bass depth is close to maximum, so it controlled well, but of course it more depends on the amplification stage. Mid frequencies are transparent, so what you give in you get back. It won't try to highlight the micro details, it won't try to boost the macro dynamics, it won't add emotions, it won't add weight, so it's critical for the quality of records, because if record is poor it will show it. But at the same time it won't highlight the issues with tracks, so it won't be sound too clinical or too analytical. And imaginary stage is noticeably above average, it's pretty spacious, big, maybe not on par with more expensive device, but on the bigger side of things, so add a good transparent amplification here and it will shine. And first example, also not audiophilic record, but it's pretty complicated and it's Pain of Salvation, Reasons. Probably it's the pinnacle of the Pain of Salvation albums. I'm not sure will they reach it once again, but probably to reach it Gildenlove need to be in the near-death situation once again, so probably it's better than if they won't reach that pinnacle anymore, but Gildenlove will create more and more music, and so I really hope that I still hope that they will create something great, but let's be honest, Panther is good, but not at the level of the In the Passing Light of Day. And Reasons is a great track, it's creative, it has interesting lyrics, it's aggressive, it has a great combination of fast and slow parts, and drum work is good here, but of course main staple is vocal, it's emotional, and combined with aggressive guitars it requires good and technical mid frequencies, and this digital tonal converter will deliver it. Of course, also if combined with proper amplifier, so okay, I'm saying that too much, so you understand that idea, I won't repeat it once again more and more. So really good and delivering all the nuances of the track. And also another good compilation, good album by Chesky Records, Rock Reimagined, and Walk on the Wild Side by Dave's True Story, perfectly recorded, absolutely natural and engaging sounds, really spacious, and this digital tonal converter will show it. And treble is good in terms of actually close to absolute in terms of extension, so it extends as far as you can hear it, and it's controlled well. It has a good layering, not perfect as I've said, but still good, and that means that you will get a lot of small overtones, you will get small nuances, and all that rich stuff that separate audiophiliac or high-end device from mid-tier, and this thing delivers that. And first example, it's Sting, it's probably me, and I said many times that Sting has a great percussionists on his records, and this one is not an exception. So great percussion, lot of bells, chimes, and all that cymbals that gives the signature airy sounding, and this digital analog converter, as you can understand, delivers it nicely. And another example, maybe a bit obvious for many, but it's Pink Floyd, time, all that clock ticking at the beginning and alarm sounding at the beginning. All that stuff goes high to the treble area, as well as the main part also has a lot of stuff going in the treble area, and this digital to analog converter delivers it nicely, effortlessly, and in a really natural way. Or at least as I think it should be sound natural, because I don't know how it should be, how it sounded in Pink Floyd's studio. Actually also a remastered version, and I also like it, so maybe I'm not true audiophile. And unfortunately I can't compare it with anything. I don't have any other digital to analog converters. I hope I will get some desktop stuff in some foreseeable future, and I will able to do more comparisons. Also, you know, X16 made me really interested. I really want to get H16 and maybe S16, and I want to build that stack. I'm not sure how much streamer will cost, but amplifier costs $400. Maybe streamer will be somewhere at 500-600, so in less than 1.5 thousand you will get 3 component stack that will handle all the needs of your desktop audio. Or even without the streamer, using your computer as a source and as a transport, it will deliver great and value, and also, of course, it can be a component of your full-size setup. I'm not familiar with, let's call that, big hi-fi, what's going on there, what is trendy, what is not. I'm actually not sure if Chinese manufacturers wipe anything on the big hi-fi market as they do on the portable audio, but I think Gustard X16 is a great value on that market too, so let's cut that short. I really liked it, and many people like it. It measures good, it sounds good, it offers tons of value, and it doesn't cost arm and leg. Hooray, I know at least one proverb, and it's a great device, so I can probably recommend it without any hesitation. So thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and of course have a nice day.